The spring semester of 2019, over spring break, I went on this study abroad trip to Andros in the Bahamas as a part of a biology course. I chose the study abroad trip to Andros because, well, for one, I saw the sort of booth that they had set up during the study abroad sort of information session that they had going on at CSU. But also I had a couple of friends go on it last year that really spoke to the just incredible experience that they had on the island. You know, we put on an annual Spay and Neuter Clinic for the dogs on Andros because there's no residing veterinarian on the island. Part of being prepared for this Andros trip is just knowing what you're getting into. Our professor did a great job of sort of explaining the culture difference and the environmental difference. You know, on Andros, it's just so different from the US and any emergencies. You know, patients would have to be flown to Nassau. So those kind of differences in the culture and environment were taught to us before we got to Andros, and that helped prepare us for the trip altogether. My favorite experience on Andros, hands down, had to be the snorkeling. We went to a place called Rat Key, and I had never been snorkeling before we went on this trip. So it was definitely a learning curve, but this specific key that we went to was about 6 feet deep in most places, but we went to a blue hole, which went down to about 30 feet, and this is one of the more shallow blue holes. I think others go down about 300 or so feet. But this particular blue hole had just a ton of diverse wildlife in it. You had corals and different fish, and there was actually a nurse shark living in the blue hole, and we actually got to see it as it sort of swam out and towards us, and then it headed out towards the boat, and everybody got scared. But you know, it's a great experience. The biggest benefit of going to Andros was just being able to step away from the technology that we have. It was just night and day, and that was really special to me, to just be able to get away from that part of my life and just experience the world from a different perspective. When we faced the differences of our culture versus the Bahamian culture, we didn't go into it with a hardship or a mindset of like, I can't do this. It was an embracing mindset that really mitigated any sense of challenge that we faced. You know, I have a part-time job going through school, so you know, I had some of that saved up to prepare for this trip, but I also applied for study abroad grants and scholarships. Ended up getting 50% of my trip paid for by the university. For anyone that wants to study abroad or is thinking about it, I'd say 100% you have to do it. Beyond anything else, it gets you out of your shell and it makes you into the kind of person that you'll need to be once you step out into the workforce. International interactions is a daily thing now with, you know, enterprise organizations. So when it comes to preparing yourself for the industry, it's essential to be ready and to be able to interact with different kinds of people.